How's it going, guys? Cody, guys, back again, dropping yet another video. Right, guys, the competition is fucking, I've got literally, it's just abysmal, guys, right? I've got £8 in the pot, right? A subscriber called Lee, won't give his last name, but he sent me 50 quid the other day. As a matter of courtesy to Lee, I'm going to get him a signed book from Reform Gangster Stephen French with a little video message and stuff like that. Then you come on to the actual competition itself. Like I said to you, I'm going to do like 2 top prizes of like a prison mobile phone, the Zen code, because it's relevant to my channel, a signed book from Reform Gangster Stephen French, and a couple of Doo-Doo Olsons, the black soap that I swear by. I've only got 2 people entered the competition. 8 quid, a guy called Sean, he's put a £5 in, and then you've got Luke. Luke put 23 quid in my account. £20 was just a donation for my channel, which is much appreciated. He's a top lad anyway, because he supports Oldham Athletics, so he's going to be a top kid, isn't he? So yeah, Luke's put 23 quid in, 20 quid for the channel just to donate, and £3 for the actual competition. So literally, when it goes to when I go down to London a week after next and stuff, and I'm with French here, French is going to do the draw. There's only going to be like 8 people's names, usernames, YouTube names in the actual bag to be drawn out for the draw, with 2 people's names on it. So like I say, guys, if you want to enter the competition thing, guys, it's the other video further down my timeline. My bank details are there. If you want to donate to my channel, I'll put my bank details in the link of this description, and also for the competition if you want to enter. Moving on from that, yesterday I went out for food with my mum, hit Southport. I've got family in Southport, spent a lot of good times in Southport. My nana actually died in Southport and stuff. So went down into Bretherton, went for some food. Then I went to see my uncle, and then yeah, man, just hit Costa Coffee in Southport, and then on the way back, just hit Asda, got some bits, and then came home. Anyway, moving on, guys, to this story. It's taken me ages to write down this story. This is a story out of the Midlands. And the story reads, guys, Mum stays, I'm having to pay protection money in HMP Birmingham to save my son. Constant demands for money are draining the family's finances. The mother of a prison inmate has told the Sunday Mercury she's paid out £3,000 in drug money to fellow lags and their associates. If the steady stream of cash stops, she claims her son will face violent retribution from prison drug dealers. The Birmingham woman says she will continue to swell the bank accounts of hardened criminals at HMP Birmingham to ensure her son's safety. She has told our news team she is close to financial and emotional meltdown with the constant demands for money over 5 months, draining the family's bank account near dry. Her retired husband is oblivious to the full scale of the problem. Shockingly, the petrified mother alleges she has even received a behind bars phone call from one inmate who growled, "You owe me money." She says she has contacted the prison personally and through her solicitor. The middle-aged woman has even written to her MP, Caroline Spellman. Yet the woman, who we will refer to as Yvonne, to protect her son from reprisals, believes not enough is being done. She claims her 28-year-old son, who has mental health issues, is currently being kept in his cell, but can't remain behind his cell door forever. Now that's coming down to, it sounds like he's on OP. For those that don't know, OP stands for Own Protection. They run a regime called DNU, Do Not Unlocks. They'll be in general population, but they'll get out half an hour in the morning and half an hour in the evening when all the other prisoners are locked up, because they're on protection, because they're normally deadheads and stuff. The only other alternative, Yvonne says, she's been told, is to move him to the November wing, which is the domain of the sex offenders. It's a move her son is unwilling to make. The November wing sounds like it's the VP wing for the prisoner. VP, vulnerable prisoners. Vulnerable in the sense they'll be attacked. People that are on the numbers, and then you've got like paedophiles, rapists, kiddie fiddlers, things like that. And he's refusing to move on to that wing. I don't know what's going to happen to him if in there, Yvonne said, whilst fighting back tears. I'm scared for us. I'm scared for him. I'm dreading the phone call. The bank account is looking pathetic. My husband knows what's going on, but not to the full extent. Those fears have been cranked up, Yvonne says. She was told her son was handed 3 pairs of trainers and clothes to enforcers on the prison wing. She said on the outside, if my son asked me for £100, I would say no. But I'm paying now because I don't know what else to do. I don't know what will happen to him if I stop paying. Her son was sentenced last December for a violent attack. This is not his first helping of porridge referring to a prison sentence, but it is undoubtedly his toughest stretch. He acts big and hard, said Yvonne, and can stand up for himself, but in there it's a totally different ballgame. He's never experienced anything like this. At first, she says her son claimed the cash was needed to pay for tobacco. When Yvonne queried the amounts being handed over and the frequency of the payments, he confessed the money was needed for Black Mamba, a synthetic cannabis currently plaguing the prison system. He did not take Black Mamba before he went in, said Yvonne, and it can only worsen his mental state. The Sunday Mercury has studied Yvonne's bank statements and the stream of outgoings. The documents make chilling reading, and there is no sign of the cash hemorrhage subsiding. There are a number of surnames on the list, though most of the payments are to women, the wives and girlfriends of prisoners, says Yvonne. She said £50. She first paid £50 on December the 11th, £100 the following day. Even by prison tariffs, that was a significant nicotine habit. Obviously, since transpired, he's been honest, and it's for the Mamba. I thought he was being picked on, said Yvonne, but he was moved and it was okay for a while. She parted with £25 on January the 24th, £50 on January the 29th, £25 the following day. By now it appears her son was trapped in a circle of drug debt and intimidation. She claimed he was paying for Mamba and for prisoners to watch his back. The outgoings increased dramatically in February. February the 1st, £25. February the 6th, £55. February the 7th, £30. February the 14th, £50. February the 15th, £40. February the 19th, £40. February the 22nd, £90. February the 26th, £50. February the 27th, £80. February the 28th, £50. Yvonne paid £170 2 weeks ago and he's also rang me for £30, she added. I knew there was someone in the cell with him. I have rung the prison and said, please help me. I haven't seen him for 12 weeks because he says he's not got no shoes or trainers. The last pair cost me £155. I am petrified. I've told the prison this and it is still happening. I was told some prisoners get themselves into a mess. Into a mess is making reference to debts, drugs, that sort of stuff. One former inmate was not surprised by the shocking revelations or the sums involved. It's happening all the time, he shrugged. The money you were talking is average, nothing over the top. What happens if you don't pay? Violence, probably. Yvonne said has received support from MP Caroline Spellman. In a letter to her, which you can see at the beginning of the video, in a letter to her, the MP states, I do appreciate your concern about your son's welfare and recent incidents at HMP Birmingham. I understand you are particularly concerned about the availability of drugs in prison, and given what you've described and your son's experience, I will take this up directly with the with the Justice Secretary David Gork, the MP. In January, HMP Birmingham, formerly Winson Green Prison, was dubbed the country's most violent nick by Prison Officers Union. Joe Simpson, Assistant General Secretary of the Prison Officers Association, said at present, HMP Birmingham is the most violent prison in the country, according to the Violent Diagnostic Tool, which is supposedly used by management as a way of looking at where and when violence is happening and how it can be prevented. The people I speak to at HMP Birmingham say it's a dangerous place to work. The problems are the same at other prisons throughout the country. They haven't got enough staff to run the prison and they can't recruit and retain enough staff to fill the gap. In December 2016, HMP Birmingham, run by security firm G4S, made national headlines after inmates took over 4 wings during a 12-hour riot. I was in prison with a lot of these kids because they got shipped into Forest Bank, which was used as a dispersal unit after the riot at Winson Green. Around 500 prisoners escaped their cells at a privately run Victorian jail, causing £6 million worth of damage. The mass unrest was quelled by a specialist tornado, prison officers and riot police. The prison was at the scene of another disturbance 9 months later when inmates in one wing refused to return to their cells, leading to a 7-hour standoff. Yesterday, a G4S spokesman said our Safer in Custody team observe prisoners on a daily basis to uncover any instances of bullying and work closely with peer mentors in the prison who provide additional support to men struggling with a range of issues. Now, peer mentors, in my experiences, have been other prisoners, like you've got the listeners and stuff like that, and the peer mentors and stuff. They're there to listen to, because it might be easier for you to talk to another prisoner as opposed to a prison officer, because a lot of prisoners see prison officers as the enemy. So that's that. So guys, it's not unheard of. This isn't. Don't think that this is a one-off isolated incident. So December to what we're now, June, £3,000. I know people. I've spoken to prisoners' girlfriends who have spent more than that, and they can't see that they're being used. Now this woman here, it's her son. The bank account's running dry. Her husband's semi-retired, so she's obviously getting to an age where retirement's going to be on the cards. The son's obviously he's riddled by addiction. Now addiction's not to be laughed at. Now some people are going to say, "Oh, just go cold turkey, put yourself on detox," right? You've got to want to change. You've got to want to help yourself. Like I say, prison's a very selfish place. I can't stress that enough. People are out for their own gains and stuff. Now her son's getting the drug dealers are getting the money, and the only person that's actually paying is the mother. And like I say, it's disgusting, guys, but she's by paying it, she's fueling his addiction to the drug, because he knows that he's got it on tap, because she'll pay, because if she doesn't pay, she fears the worst for him. And like I say, if he didn't pay, but he sounds like he's on OP, like I say, own protection, where he gets out for half an hour in the morning before everyone else is out, and half an hour in the evening after the lads are locked up, to get a shower, get on the phone, post a letter and stuff. Like I say, it's indicative of what's happening in prisons up and down the country. It really, really does go on. He's got mental health problems. Prisoners, some of them are very gullible and very naive, and have got mental health issues, and are very susceptible and very vulnerable. Prisoners, obviously, the prisoners that are at the top of the tree, because obviously, like the drug dealers and stuff like that, they can exploit the circumstances, because drugs on the outside, guys, go for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times that in prison, depending on supply and demand. If you've got 5 guys on a wing selling the drug, you can't charge a premium. But if there's a drought on and you're the only person with that drug, you can charge a premium, because people will pay it. By getting in debt in prison, you've got to give double back, double bubble, double trouble, as we know it as. Because like when tobacco was knocking about, it was a quarter. If you borrow a quarter, you've got to give ½ ounce back. ½ ounce, you'd have to give an ounce back. And the same with drugs and stuff like that. Anything you borrow, you've got to give double back, whether it be coffee, whether it be tobacco, whether it be drugs, right? And like I say, they get you in debt and stuff like that. And then where you've got contraband guys in prison, you've got debt. Where you've got debt, you've got bullying, intimidation, fear and violence. The fact that she's like gone by another name in this, like they're calling her Yvonne, but yet she's rang the prison and she's wrote to her MP and stuff. The prison service will know who her son is. If that gets to these drug dealers on the wing and stuff, or they start getting spun or whatever, then what's going to happen? He'll get bullied even worse, because it's classed as grasping, even though it's his mum that's done it. She's obviously at her wit's end and stuff. She can't keep affording to give him the money. By giving him the money, she's fueling his drug addiction, and drug dealers are getting fat and rich. But if she doesn't pay him, he'll be attacked. It's as simple as that. Someone will send someone into the cell to go and twist him up or fuck him up. But like I say, it sounds, for all intensive purposes, like he is on own protection. What do you think about the story, guys? Do you condemn the mother? Do you understand that addiction is addiction and it's very hard to break? People take drugs in prison, guys, for many, many different reasons, whether it be some people go into prison already taking drugs. Some people use drugs in prison as a coping mechanism to escape the reality and the realization of the surroundings. Some people are peer pressured into it. Some people are simply spiked. Some people do it to alleviate the boredom. And it's as simple as that, guys. But look at them, like £50 here, £80 here, £90 there, £25 there. And it's adding up and stuff. She bought him a £155 pair of trainers, and they've gone because another prisoner's taken them from him. So obviously, with mental health and stuff like that, he's being bullied, he's being intimidated, and he's also hooked on the Mamba, which is, like I say, it's a horrible drug. Seeing people in catatonic states and stuff, and seeing the desperation, people would steal from their own mother to get that drug once they take it. Now, first things first, never ever borrow things in prison unless you can pay it back. 2, never ever take fucking spice. It's a horrible drug, guys. It's super addictive. It will take over your life. You'll start stealing from other prisoners if you've not got the money. You'll get your ass kicked. You get into debt, you'll get your ass kicked. You get your mother into debt. It's crippling her emotionally and financially. She's hidden the actual... He's deceiving her. He was originally deceiving her, saying it was for tobacco. Then now she's deceiving her. Obviously, then he admitted it was for the mambo. Then his mum is hiding it from her husband, who's obviously retired now. So the chain, it goes on and it sends shockwaves through the family and stuff, guys. It really, really does. It's not good to see. Like I say, contraband incurs debt. Debt incurs fear, intimidation, bullying, and violence. And it's the family on the outside that are actually funding this. And if she stops, she'll be attacked. And if she keeps paying him, she's killing him because the drug will riddle him and stuff. And when he gets out, if he's still addicted to the drug, he could go back to crime to feed his habit because he can't just break the cycle of spice if he's taking that much. £3,000 in a couple of months, guys. If he gets out addicted to that drug, what's going to happen, guys? What's going to happen? He'll have to go back to crime because he's now a spice head. According to his mother, he wasn't on spice when he went in the drug. When he went into the prison, he wasn't on the drug. Now he is. So he's an addict. So when he gets out, he'll have to feed that habit by car crime, shoplifting, whatever the thought may be. Actually germinates the problem, guys. On that note, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you to Luke, Sean, and Lee. If you want to enter the draw, I'll put my bank details in the description below even. And I'll speak to you all soon, guys. Cody out.